Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Danny's Life and Travel. Once again today I'm just covering AMD and I'm just going to go through what's been happening the past week once again, and then give you my future prediction as normal, which hasn't changed. Nothing has changed. It's the same story as last week. So here you can see we were about here I think beginning of last week, and we've been going down and down and down and down. So it's following the pattern. Here we had the big decline after earnings, and then this is normal basically when it goes back up like that. It always bounces back up to some extent. And then at that point I was in profit. I thought, okay, because my buying is 11.6, I thought no, I'll leave it in there. It's going to gradually build back up. So this was the cryptocurrency run up, and then it came back down again, and then this was the epic run up. This was a really promising run up because you had all the OEMs coming out, all the partners, HP and so on, Samsung and Microsoft, and all the rest of them did come out in favor of AMD with the epic line. But again, as you can see, after that launch, it's been going down and down and down. Now, I did think maybe there'll be more staying power at this point. Maybe we'll go to 13.5, maybe 14, somewhere like that, and we'll just level out and start going up, or stay a level at least. But it looks like that's not happening. So what could be the reason for the decline? So let's just go into the Google side of the Google Finance site. So on this, you can see all the news headlines. So I've noticed whenever there's some launch or something positive, you get huge amounts of positive news, epic launch, epic this and epic that, and it runs up. And then once that's over, the normal state of things is either negative or it's not quite sure. That's what the news stories tell us. So this guy is talking about, so let's go off, I think this is Tuesday. So he's talking about purchasing options and puts and so on. So he's trying to hedge his position. I think I have it here. Trying to put at $7 strike, which has a bid time with writing of 64 cents. Collecting that bid at a premium presents 9.1% return. So he's going to sell a put and try and do it that way. So if he was really confident, he'd go for the options and just go for a normal call option, but it looks like he's trying to find the best deal and go for a put. So that's one story, and then the next one, let's go. So this is talking about exuberance, so I'm just going to go through them one by one. I won't click on the actual story because I just want to give you a rough outline of where the stories are going. So you got unmoored exuberance, so it's saying maybe you went too far with the exuberance. This guy is positive, seeking alpha. I think they have a long position anyway, so it's a bit biased, so I should put that out there. So he's saying ignore the sell call on advanced micro devices. So he's saying go long, just like me, but he's a bit biased because he's got a long position. And the next story is cryptocurrency mining. So they're saying NVIDIA is going to bring out a GPU graphics card that's built specifically for cryptocurrency mining. So just cryptocurrency mining. Now the thing is that I did read somewhere before, I can't find that news story now. I did have a look, but it did say that AMD and NVIDIA together, both of them are going to bring out GPU graphics cards specifically for cryptocurrency mining. And what they're saying here is just what NVIDIA has basically done is got one of the older graphics cards, I think it's 1060 or 1070, GTX 1070, 1060, one of those, and just updated the drivers, made it specifically, the drivers made them specifically for cryptocurrency mining. If that's the case, then there's no reason why AMD can't do the same. But if they have made the if they have designed and produced a graphics card specifically for cryptocurrency mining, then that's a different situation. So that's that. But they are speculating. I mean, NVIDIA has come out with it, so they've got the GPU that is coming out. But there's nothing to say that AMD won't bring out one as well. But the story here is AMD stock falls as Nvidia's upcoming cryptocurrency GPU poses a threat. I remember AMD already has the RX 480, which is the best in terms of price to performance. Well, it used to be anyway until the prices got driven up, and plus on electricity consumption, which is one of the major things for cryptocurrency mining. Okay, the next story we got AMD Vega advantages. I'll come back to Vega. There's some negative news on that as well. So they're saying the advantages, which is the positive thing, besides positive news article. So then you got AMD, the perils of pricing in potential. So remember, so you got positive, negative. So what was this one? So negative, positive, negative. So you get where I'm going with this. So it's like the dithering. They're not quite sure with the news articles, right? It's like what they're trying to say is there's good points and bad points, and trying to get this stock to level out. I think that's what's going on here. This is why Nvidia is poised to trample AMD advanced micro devices. And then the next one is, here's why Nvidia will pound advanced micro devices. So now they're going completely negative, and stock starts to go sideways to some extent. But it's kind of crazy, when you see these kind of articles. They don't just stick to the previous news story of Epic as well. So it's like they take one piece out of the company and say, well, this is the new piece, this is the new thing that's coming out. So hence, all of basically they give the impression, I don't think they're saying it, but they give the impression that everything else doesn't matter in some ways, and it does. You got Epic launch, which I've seen price to performance wise. I think across the board, AMD is the best. I call it the poor man's Mercedes, which is meant to be the Audi anyway in car terms. But its price to performance is pretty good. Now for Vega, so they're saying Vega's shipping out, so they're just shipping it out, and it says some product models have been tested, and they easily beat comparable NVIDIA offerings on price and some on speed as well. Now there's a big question mark over this. I mean, yes, on price they will be, definitely, I think. But again, NVIDIA might bring the prices down at some point. But I was looking at Gamers Nexus. They also they did proper benchmarks, and you can see where it's coming in. I'll just make this picture bigger. So you've got that's the Vega Frontier Edition right there. And if you look at the 1080, that's there. 1080 Ti is a lot further on. So they're scoring 52. 1080 Ti is at 91. So it's nearly double, right? Say about 40% higher in terms of frames per second. So and 1080, the 1080, is slightly better at 61. Actually no, this is better, isn't it? So you got 62. Sorry, I was wrong. 62 versus 74. Right? If I'm right, can't quite see that. But anyway, it is better. NVIDIA GTX 1080 is better than the Frontier Edition. But keep in mind, again, there's a big question mark over this, because the Frontier Edition is not designed for gaming. So we're not doing apples for apples. And this is the entire mess that people are involved in. So I've read a lot of articles online where they say, well, look, it's not what we thought it'd be, and they're saying, well, it's going to be the same silicon that they're going to use for, and the same architecture that they're going to use for RX Vega, which is a gaming one. So it can't be much better, but it's all speculation right now. Nobody knows for sure. There is some merit to that. I think yeah, they're going to use the same architecture, so they're going to use the same silicon and so on. But really, could you say for certain that RX Vega is not going to be a good percentage better than this? I don't know. I can't say right now, and it's okay. Sometimes when you don't know, it's okay not to know. But a lot of people have to have their say, and so you got two sides. One side is saying, well, look, this is it. It's not going to get much better than this. The other side is saying, well, this is not made for gaming, so you're not being truthful and honest. So that will remain the case. They'll always, that argument will stay there until we get the RX Vega and it's tested and you got reviews. So it's kind of a mixed bag, so that's not helping. The hype from Epic has gone. The news stories are kind of mixed, bordering on negative. Um, so all that is going on. And then it says here AMD stock falls on the video upcoming cryptocurrency GPU threat. So it's the same story as I said before. But here you can see the chart, how it works over the past year. You've got, that's the black line is AMD, red line is Nvidia. You can see where it's been going, and Nvidia is a lot higher right now in terms of that. But percentage wise, we've already been there. So I did around the percentages, and it was at 15.5. We are on par with Nvidia when it was up there at 360. Yeah, the highest point I think it was about 360. So it's roughly the same. So my idea is if it goes to what is it, $15, $15.5, $15, then it is a good selling point. You can sell it at 15 as well. And then I'm thinking if it comes back down again, buying again. But really, overall, I do want to stick to my goal of $17 to $20. I think that's still fair value. It's pretty good. With everything I'm seeing. So basically what I see is, just to summarize quickly, I see Intel side is pretty much beaten. There are some situations where Intel does do better with the server CPUs I'm talking about, and the desktop CPUs definitely, from everything I've read, it's like AMD is doing much better. Apart from 1080p gaming and some older games, or purely gaming side CPUs. I'm just saying Intel side is taken care of. Basically AMD will do pretty well there. Nvidia side, they have to make sure that RX Vega, I originally thought it would be somewhere between the 1080 and 1080 Ti. That was my idea, and I think some of the other reviewers do agree with that, and I think we will get there. So if it does come in as I expect it, then again they have good growth potential for revenues, and that translates to good earnings, and then moving on from there, the share price should go up. Again, I don't think this is going to be basically sustainable. I think it'll just continue. So a lot of this, if you think about it, if people say, well, you missed the opportunity, you could have sold there, come back in there, sold there, come back in there. But the issue is you don't know. So when this was about when earnings were going to happen, the potential downside was very low because it already dropped from that point to that point, and if it's going to drop, it would be 12.5. So the potential downside wasn't huge because we'd already established that was as a bottom before, and then the potential for an earnings beat and it going up were pretty good. So that didn't happen. We had a huge drop. And then once you have a huge drop, that's normal for it to recover. So once that happens, then you don't know which way it's going to go. Is it going to continue sideways and go build up, or is it going to go down? So I decided to come down. So once again, you don't know from here where it's going to go. I mean, you've hit a bottom, so to speak, but that was a bottom as well. So it could go further down. But then we had the minor cryptocurrency thing going up. Again, that was a real story, real information. It was happening. I checked it out. So you think, okay, maybe it comes down a little, around 12s, and it levels out, and then continues forward. But no, it falls down again, goes back up on the Epic launch, and this one was a really good one. Like I said, you look at all the supporting partners, and still it decides to come all the way back down again. So I think there's a lot of volatility in the stock. There's no way you can put your finger on it and say, look, I think it will continue going this way or that way in the short term. Long term, definitely. I think if you buy AMD, Nvidia, Tesla, they'll go up. Long term, I'm talking years. Short term, around 3 months, 4 months, right? You can see the trend anywhere from May up to, where are we now? End of June. So May, June, July, 2 months. Trend is upwards generally. So so it fits in well with my idea that it will continue going upwards. but it'll have ups and downs, ups and downs. Good for traders, not so amazing for long investors like me. But if you believe in the company and you think Lisa Su is going to do a good job, which I think she will do, she said she's going to execute. They're going to be in profit this year. That was one of the objectives, and they're going to have good competitive products. And there was, I think, the future product line will be much better. The 7nm. I think that'll wipe the floor with a lot of the GPU side and the CPU side, and just kind of clear it all up, and make sure that everyone at that point will think that yes, they're back and they're doing pretty good, so they jump on board then, and share price will go up. But before that, it's ups and downs. You have to ride this out. So it's up to you guys. If you're holding the stock, I'd say hold. If you want to sell, I would say don't sell here, because you've seen it goes down and then it goes back up again. I've read a few people's predictions. Basically, these people do short-term technical analysis and that kind of stuff. And what the consensus is that it should go above 15, maybe 15 and a half, maybe 16, and then you should sell at that point. So you got 15, 15 and a half, 16. Check out that range. Once it goes to there, then sell out. That's what they're saying. And then basically the other idea is that it's going to have that big rally up. That's going to be before earnings, and then there's going to be some kind of drop before earnings. And then earnings, as we expect, should be a beat, because they have the cryptocurrency mining, all that tied into it. But what people really look for is forward guidance. And if forward guidance is pretty good, then we can see the stock going up higher. But again, there is this argument that if it's mostly based on cryptocurrency mining, again, once the boom has ended, which I think Bitcoin has ended, it has gone down to some extent, and so has Ethereum. So once that starts to happen, people might sell their mining cards, the GPU mining cards, and so you're left with a whole glut of supply in the second-hand market, and so people won't buy new, they can just buy second-hand, and that'll affect AMD's earnings. There is that argument. So what people I think might look for is that was a lot of the sales, a lot of the revenue growth, did it come from Ryzen? Did it come from other sources other than the cryptocurrency side? And if that's true and that's sustainable, that's showing growth, then, and with good forward guidance, I think people will pile in and the stock will go up. Anyway guys, that's it for me. I hope you found this informative. Please like, subscribe and comment, and again, I am running a little bit late on these videos, but hopefully I'll get them back on track again at some point. Just been a little bit busy, but at some point I'll get back on track and everything should be fine. But anyway guys, take care, good luck with your trading and so on. So take care guys, I'll see you next time. Danny out.